Whoa, 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 whoa! Welcome back. This is Weeknight.
What in the world?
That
What was that?
was just me being silly.
That was your introduction?
Yeah, I could do something else, if you want me to just edit that out.
No, it's fine. You can keep it. I was very caught off guard. I wasn't
No, that was the
used to you
point.
making sounds at the beginning of the pod like that. Oh my goodness! Wow. It's the morning pod effect.
Right, exactly.
hmm
Bright
So
and early.
what? You good over there?
I said bright and early.
Yeah, you said bright and early, but you just sound. You seem like you kind of checked out for a
Nah, I
second.
was with you. Just yeah.
A
You
walk and
said
came
you said the
back.
morning effect, and I'm like, yeah, bright and early.
Yeah, no, yeah, but powering through.
That's it. I am JD, aka He Who Pods, aka Rearview Mirror. I got to do some reading today,
And I am Dash, aka Dashing D. That's all you're gonna get from me today.
aka I rather be in bed.
Right, exactly.
Yep.
Um, yeah, but latest greatest shameless. Let's get to it.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, where would you like to start?
Did you hear?
Oh, I know where we're starting. Okay, I don't need the specs for this one.
Did you
Go
hear
ahead.
that Will Smith is performing at the BET Awards this weekend?
Oh, I thought we were starting with somebody else.
No, no,
Okay.
no.
I did hear that. Um, he's supposed to be not only performing, but
Mhm.
performing an original song, a new original song.
Is this the song with Sean Paul?
I have no idea because we don't know what song it is.
I saw something today that said that he has a song with Sean Paul.
What we do know is it's not getting jiggy with it. It's not parents just don't understand. It's not Miami. It's not any
You,
of those.
you think it's gonna be that same vibe though, right?
I don't know what he's gonna do.
Oh. I
I
just
have
feel
no
like,
idea.
you know, it's kind of his lane.
Does Will Smith have a lane in music today? I don't. I
Not
don't know.
about today. I'm just talking about in general. I feel like Will Smith, all of the popular songs were, you know, these like fun. It had a specific vibe. I think. I don't. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but
Like up tempo.
yeah, like that up tempo, like your dad who doesn't listen to rap listens to it, like that sort of, you know, palatable for the masses type of rap. The hippity hoppity. When I say hippity hoppity, I mean like I don't want to liken it to nursery rhymes, but like that super catchy, like very easy. I'm not trying to call like never mind. I feel like I'm stepping in it, but I don't know how else to describe it because I don't like you. I don't know. Getting jiggy with it is a very specific type of song.
I didn't say a word. I was trying not to say someone's name.
Oh, I don't even know whose name you would say, but getting jiggy with it. Welcome to Miami. Those are like very specific types of songs. I feel like so,
Yes.
and that's what I'm trying to describe.
So was Wild Wild West. So was the
Right,
Men in Black song. He
right,
tried to switch it up on Switch. Remember Switch?
vaguely.
Yeah. That's how we all feel. And then DMX said that Rihanna stole his beat.
Interesting.
Apparently, Ponder Replay is the same beat as Switch, or very similar to Switch.
Interesting. I'm not going to go back and fact check that, but Like I'm not gonna go listen to it, but um,
he said trying to jack Will Smith for a beat. It's like trying to jack me from the streets or something like that.
that's funny. Um, but yeah, so I'm curious to see what it's gonna be. Um, I just, I'm glad that we're moving on. I
But
think
should
we,
we be moving on?
I think we should.
Okay.
I think it was a conflict between two men that became public.
It was not a conflict between two men. I'm sorry, I highly disagree with that.
Okay, that's fine. You don't have to agree, but I believe it was a
One
conflict.
one man was doing his job and the other man lost his cool, blew his top.
He did. I'm looking at the bigger picture. I'm not just talking about the one moment that they had. I think that they had tension. Tension rose and it came to blows. I'm not saying that it was on both sides. It was clearly one-sided what happened at the Oscars. But what I'm saying is this conflict happened between these two people. It's okay for us to move on. Like what I don't understand what penance people are still asking him to pay. That's between him and that man at this point. And whoever like and him and the Oscars.
I'm listening.
You see two people get into a fight every time you see them, it's about the fight.
It depends on how that fight went.
Okay. Well, I mean, listen, I'm in the business of letting things go. I don't think that everything is forgivable, but I do think that some things are. So I think we can all move on now. I thought we had all moved on now. We don't talk about the slap. It's not like it's, you know, top of mind at this point. It appears that he is trying to move on, and Chris Rock isn't saying anything about it. So what is everybody else supposed to do?
I was just being an asshole when I asked, should we move on? Um, Trying to be a little jokey joke, but I do disagree about the conflict thing. Uh, and so I looked up conflict, but it doesn't answer what I was looking for.
I mean, because conflict could be a lot of different things. A conflict is you and I disagreeing about this topic is a conflict.
Yeah, but nobody disagreed on anything.
But I'm not.
One guy was getting paid to do a job, and the other guy smacked him.
I understand that. What I'm saying is there was when this happened, it was revealed that there was, or not revealed. People knew. I did not know. That's why I say it was revealed that there was this ongoing tension between Chris Rock and Will Smith and his wife.
Oh, okay.
So that's
We
why
could
I
we
say,
could we could leave it. I don't want to. It's old. I said on our old show that it was bullshit. It had nothing to do with that stuff, and I still stand on that. I don't think this had anything to do with the year before and the jokes or the jokes of that moment. I think Will Smith was tired of being picked on and spoken about on the internet and smacked the first person who he thought he could make an example of. That's what I think. I said that way back. I think that still. I don't think there was any conflict or tension. I think that was a bullshit story that the Smith family said and their supporters said to try to justify the assault that we all witnessed.
so do you think that Will Smith should be should go away and like not work anymore?
No, I think that he's very lucky, and I said that when we were doing the other show. I think he's very lucky that Chris Rock, one, didn't beat the shit out of him,
Hmm.
two, didn't press charges.
I agree with that. I,
Yeah.
I guess I'm just asking, like, as bystanders, what do we do now?
No, we don't do anything. That's why I said I was joking around when I said, should we let it go? I do disagree seriously about the conflict, but moving on, I was just being an asshole. I don't think the slap still matters today. I think what I think if you're going to discuss not you and me, but people in general, I think the slap matters in terms of contractual work for Will Smith. I
Hmm.
think that I think when he had that moment, the industry was looking at him a certain way. The industry was questioning, should he go away? The industry was questioning, can we still work with this, ticking time bomb of
Hmm.
sorts? I think it kind of put the safe guy, if you will, in question. He's always kind of been the guy who, oh, he's Will Smith, he's fun, he's lovable, he's silly, he's jolly, he's great, we've never had a problem, brand friendly. And then this happened on national television live. And I think the industry was looking like, uh-oh, what do we do now? But Will Smith fans are still Will Smith fans. I don't think he lost fans, and the comedians are still letting him live. A lot of the comedians felt the way. I know that they spoke publicly against it at the time, but I don't see anybody squaring up with Will Smith from the comedy sector. So we as fans, then we do what we would normally do, unless you feel or felt that the assault was so uncalled for and so big of a deal. There's a word I'm looking for, but I can't think of it. But unless you thought it was so big of a deal that you needed to boycott everything Will Smith, then that's your choice as an American citizen. But I don't think there's some call to action that we need to boycott Will Smith. If I did, we wouldn't be talking about Bad Boy so often here, or
Hmm.
talking about his performance that we're talking about. I don't think anybody has to do anything except Chris Rock. Chris Rock was the one who had to make decisions, and he made them. Whether we agree with them or not, different conversation. But Chris Rock is the one who had to figure out how to live life after that moment. So I don't. I think what he did was cowardly, and I think he should have got his ass whipped, or he should have went to jail for hitting a man on national television. And I think he knew. I think he purposely picked Chris Rock because there was plenty of people. Everyone on the internet was making fun of Will Smith. He didn't have to smack Chris Rock, but he knew if I smack Chris Rock on national television, the host of this show is not gonna hit me back. And if he does, the host of the show is probably gonna have more problems than me, who's always been the quote unquote safe guy. So yeah, but
Well, what do you think about him performing at the BET Awards?
oh, that's what I was about to say. I'm curious to see what this song sounds like. Because we haven't heard music from Will Smith since I don't know when. It's been a long time. I was gonna ask you, you think he's gonna bust out in a dance? Because a lot of his songs in the last 20 years, the few that we have got, they've got choreographed dancing. Men in Black, Switch.
Right.
Mm.
He might. I don't know. Um,
I
I
do
mean,
think it's
he's in
weird.
great shape, so
He is in great shape. That's true.
so you know, dancing is not outside of his purview.
Well,
But
that's why I'm asking. He gets his choreographed dances in. So
I guess we'll see. I'm not even sure what that looks like today. But yeah, especially
what if I'm totally wrong and he bust out in like a hard ass rap?
that'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I don't know what to expect. The only thing
Like
I
if he had
have is
Kendrick write a rap for him.
that would be fascinating to to watch, to experience. Like
He start doing voices
no, I don't want to see that. I do think it's smart of BET to have him
because
come and perform there, but
of the success of Bad Boys.
the success of Bad Boys, the controversy of it all. I mean, people are still obviously we're here talking about, Will Smith's trajectory in the last couple of years. So I think they know that. Um, and that makes sense. And I think they've done a great. they've done a great job not only marketing the show, but also they do a great job at considering those sorts of things, like who's popular on the internet, who is everybody buzzing about right now. Like, I feel like they do a really great job at that. I see Taraji P. Henson is hosting the awards this year. So just,
Yep.
I think that, I don't know who's doing music programming over there right now, but it seems like they're really tapped in. So curious to see what happens. I don't know if I'm going to watch the whole show, but I will be on the internet checking out the clips and all of the highlights to make sure that we can talk about it next week.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's go to Bow Wow, man. Why not?
He put out a freestyle called Boward Woward. What do you think about that title?
I don't know what the hell it's supposed to mean. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
I don't know what it means either, and that's fine. I thought it was funny. Maybe that's him being internet Bow Wow, right? Like, maybe that's him knowing that Boward Woward is gonna make people go, huh? So I clicked it reluctantly, but I clicked it, and maybe you'll describe it better because you're just better at this than I am. But he he basically runs down his rap resume
Yep.
in freestyle, like from the time he was a child to now. Which we know he was a child star. He started when he was very
Oh
young.
yeah, that makes me think about something from that lyric. Go ahead.
But yeah, so he's kind of running down his resume. He's letting y'all know that he's not new to this. He's true to this. Um, I don't know if this is maybe his way of like trying to feel things out and see if he should put out more music. I wish he would have just put out like an EP or something that didn't include this freestyle and just like make regular songs. And I think we would have been fine with that. I think Bow Wow is very talented, but I think his ego gets in his way.
So Bow Wow's last project was a joint project with Soldier Boy in 2016.
Is that the last one?
Yeah. Everything else after that says instrumentals.
Really?
So that's his last one.
Huh.
Ignorant Shit came out on October 25th, 2016, according to Spotify. And yeah, it's been quiet since. Oh, wait. I see. I didn't look at singles and EPs. Hold on. Okay, he was featured on John Bosco's record in 2023. No clue who that is. Okay, more instrumentals. Okay, he dropped a song called My Pain in February of 2021.
Okay.
And in November of 2020, a couple months before that, he dropped Rari's and Porsches, a song.
Mhm.
A month before that, he put out a song called Met on Collins, DM.
Okay, so I guess the point is here he's been putting out Lucy's for the last several years. He's not actually put out like a full project or like a full EP. It's just
Right.
been kind of one-offs that he's been putting out.
Yeah.
I wish he would put out a project. Bow Wow is talented. I saw your brow go up. I think
I
Bow Wow.
just said a word. I'm looking at the music here.
I think Bow Wow is talented. I think Bow Wow is correct. He started out really young, and he had to, get in there and learn the ropes and grow up in the hip hop industry. So that's challenging, I would think. for someone who was his age, because you see a lot of young people in hip hop, but he was young, like the youngest. So I totally understand that transition into like being an adult rapper may be a little bit wonky, but I feel like, okay, you on this freestyle like talking your shit, and that's fine, but then maybe just put out a project, even if it's just a few songs. Go for it. At this point, I feel like why not? Is it? I don't know. I'm wondering. Is it like a behind the scene? Is it like he? I don't know if I assume he's independent at this point. I don't know if he's signed to a record label or anything like that. But just put out something that's not this, and I would give it a listen. I mean, I wasn't the biggest Bow Wow fan. What do you call them? Girl records? Love the girl records. The things he did with like
Hey,
Sammy
hey, hey, hey,
and
hold
Chris
on.
Brown,
I don't call them girl records.
you do
That's what the
all the
industry
time
calls them.
on this pod. Well, that's how you
Because
refer to them on this pod. So,
that's what the industry calls them. I never really understood. I always thought they were love records or heartbreak records, but they widely are called girl records.
I don't
So
like that they're
that's,
called girl records because boys like them too. But but if that's how we're describing them, then yeah, I love all of the Shorty Like Mine, all of those things that he did. I don't remember if Shorty Like Mine was his or Sammy's, but all those things that he did back then with all of the singers that were coming up at the same time, I loved all of that. I loved how, to me that was us growing up. That's a part of the soundtrack to our lives. But today's not that day. Also, he should team up with like some cool R&B folks. I think that would be good because I also feel like I feel like I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but I feel like Bow Wow has been trying to establish himself as like this, not hardcore, but just this. I think he's tried to get away from that persona, and I don't know that works. I like Bow Wow, with the R&B singers. I like those types of records.
they're palatable. They're good. We
They're
like them.
good. Yeah. And I think it's okay to go, today you're at your big age of 30 something and go make one of those records. But make one that is age appropriate. You don't need to make one talking about puppy love. Now make one about real love.
Real love.
Why you stop singing?
That's all I got. Listen, Bow Wow is 37 years old, just like me. Bow Wow, I don't know why you felt like you needed to make a song about everything you did in your career. Maybe because you wanted to connect with the kids and you wanted them to put some respect on your name. I don't know, but I got a couple issues. Number one, people keep calling things freestyles that clearly are not a freestyle. That's an industry thing. Number two, my man had a beat break slash hook and gonna call it a freestyle. Come on, son.
There's also a whole video.
I don't got a problem with you having a video for your freestyle. But it didn't even look like a freestyle. It looked like this real polished
Right, but that's my
music video.
point. That's
But
that's
I'm saying if you're gonna do a freestyle video, let me see you in the studio with the mic or something. Like
yes.
this
That's
looked
what I
like I'm
mean.
trying to flex on niggas just like the song, which is a song, not a freestyle. So let's just call it what it really is.
Yeah, there was a lot of
Also,
staging going on in this video, and a lot of production with the
that's what I'm
numbers on
saying.
the
Like,
screen.
yeah, it's weird. It's really weird.
Yeah.
And he said some things that I'm a little confused about. That's why I was looking stuff up. He said he did a lot of stuff before 30. And he never said anything after 30. But he's 37. And I was a little confused. Like, is Bow Wow 30? I'm really confused. He's 37. So that was confusing. Then he brought up his movies.
He did bring up his movies. Yeah.
I don't think that was a smart decision.
You didn't like Mike?
I didn't watch Like Mike. The thing with
You've
Bow Wow
never seen
is,
Like Mike?
I didn't say, I said I didn't like.
Oh, I thought you said you didn't see it. Sorry.
Oh, actually, I don't think I saw Like Mike. The problem with Bow Wow was his branding was always young,
Yeah.
even though he's our age. So even as a teenager, I was like, "Oh, that little guy Bow Wow. Oh yeah, Bow Wow's young." And no, he's our age. Like,
Yeah, he's always been. We've
yeah.
always
So then
been.
he was like in kids movies when we were 18, 19, 20. Like I
No,
didn't.
no, they were earlier. You're just not remembering it correctly.
Hold on.
You're just not remembering it correctly.
Okay, please hold.
Because I don't think he was in movies when we were 18. And if he
Okay,
was, then it would have been the older movies. But
don't worry. I'm almost there.
you also have to remember, Bow Wow started really, really young. So what may seem like we were that much older, we weren't. It's just that he was so young when he started. He was like 7 or 6.
Like Mike was 2002. We were 15.
Oh, really? I stand corrected. I am so sorry. We were 15 when Like Mike came out?
2002. Johnson Family Vacation was 2004.
I don't even remember Johnson Family Vacation, to be honest.
Roll Bounce was 2005.
Oh, well, I
The
stand
Fast,
corrected.
The
I
Fast and the
swore.
Furious. He was in the video game apparently. That
Oh,
was 2006. He was on an episode of Smallville in 2006.
interesting. I did not know that.
He was on the show Ugly Betty in 2008
I don't
as Bow
remember
Wow.
that, even though I've seen every episode of Ugly Betty.
He played himself. He played Bow Wow.
I believe
He was
that.
in 5
You're allowed.
episodes of Entourage.
I remember him being on Entourage. I did not watch it, but I remember him being on Entourage. No,
My
you're
point
right.
is,
You're right.
um,
I
I,
I was wrong.
that's fine. I'm just saying, like, it always was like a younger thing. So,
Yeah, no, you're right.
although Bow Wow made good music, we all bumped his music. Sure, no disputing that. But the movies, like, I don't know if cats was checking for Bow Wow's movies like that. Like,
I no. I mean, I know. Like, I just feel like Mike was so popular when it
oh,
came
Like
out.
Mike was a huge hit for the kids. Huge hit. Even years later, I was teaching kids and they're like, "Hey, can we watch Like Mike?" I used to watch it with my older sibling. It's like, "Oh, okay, cool." So I'm not hating on that, but
It's so hard
he
to
made it
believe I
sound
was
like he had a
15 when that movie
career
came
that
out.
was like a legit movie career. And like, I don't know if I'd have brought that one up. But
Well,
also,
he's
like,
also been. Sorry, go ahead.
just want to say, like, also, I wanna talk big shit, Bow Wow. Go get T Pain, go get Jagged Edge, and do what you do. Like, we know you know what works. You have a long resume of hits with R&B singers. Go make friends with Jermaine Dupri again. Go get in the lab with the R&B singers. And then, like, we didn't need to know Sierra lived in your house. Like, that's very clout chasing because Sierra's hot in the streets and you're not.
And he'd been doing that for years. But that's always been my problem with Bow Wow.
And my
We
last
have
problem.
actually
Oh, I'm
met.
sorry.
But that's always been my problem with him is that he's always like had this arrogance about him. He's tried to ride on the fact that he has been around for so long. He's tried to ride on that, and at some point you no longer can you no longer
But
can
but
ride
but
on
we
those
haven't been
people.
bumping Bow Wow for a long
But
time.
that's my point.
No,
But
I know. I'm with you.
even when like, and that's what I'm saying, he's always had this air of arrogance about him, like, oh, I've been in the game, like, And I guess maybe because he was younger than everybody else, we don't automatically think of him as an OG. I do I do think he's owed a lot of respect for having had his career when he did and having had such a long run when he did. But today I just feel like he can't ride on that, but I think it's his ego. And I say that because I have encountered this man in real life and he has a very strong ego. He is someone who will like have the girls around him. He don't want anybody to come close to him. He's very like he's that guy. So this to me was very on par with his personality. He is very caught up in making sure y'all know that he has clout. And
Yeah, but like,
clout is not cool when you've been around since the beginning. It doesn't matter to us. That doesn't matter to us.
nah.
You're not
And the other
young.
thing is, like, I'm looking at his discography, just going back. I think the Price of Fame was the last Bow Wow project we really messed with. That's the one with Out of My System on it.
Oh, that was a good one. Can't wait to get you out of my system.
Right. That was 2006.
Yeah, I mean,
After that, after that, he did a collab project with Omarion. It's not his album. It's a collab. Then he did something called New Jack City 2 in 2009. I don't know any of these songs. Even though he's got the right people on him. He's got Swiss Beach, Trey Songz, John to Austin, More Than Once, T-Pain, T.I., Jermaine Dupri. I don't know this album. Do you know this album?
I don't know that album, but that's
And then
kind of
after
what,
that, we don't get anything until the project with Soldier Boy.
which I think is fine because then he started his movie slash hosting career. It makes sense to me that there's no music after that. He was host of 106 in Park for several years. He
Listen,
started. He was doing movies as we described. Um, so to me, like he's not singular in things he's done or what he's accomplished. It wasn't just music. It never was just music. So it makes sense that after the music for was going for a while, he took a break or whatever it was to pursue other things. He pursued acting, he pursued hosting. He was very hot in the streets still after these albums came out. And years later, he was out there. Um I just said, listen, I encountered him in real life when he was still very popular, but he wasn't making music. He was doing other things, which I think is great. And
yeah,
I don't think anybody is upset at Bow Wow's career, or I don't think anybody has a
yeah, but he had a
problem with his
spectacular career.
right. But I think he feels, and I think this is because he was the youngest one. I think he feels forgotten sometimes. And I think he works overtime to try to remind us that he was very much a part of that era of hip hop. And I get it. He doesn't
Okay,
get
I can understand
considered
that.
when he doesn't get considered when there's like conversations about lists or anything like that. I'm not
Which
saying
he
he
mentioned. He mentioned that. And
right, and
he's upset about that.
I'm sure he is. Um
Well, he
and I'm
seems
and
upset
I'm
in his
not
song.
I'm not saying that he should or should not be. I haven't really pondered whether he should or should not be, but that in itself says that we do kind of forget about him because he did have such a big career. If people could put some of their other faves on those lists, then he he should at least be considered because he was around during this big stretch of time. So
No.
okay,
I vote no.
I don't think he's an I don't know how to
Say
say
it.
that.
Say it because that's the answer right there. Say it. You
I
don't
don't know
think
how
he's
to
a what?
I don't know how to just describe like what I'm trying to say. I'm just
Bow Wow is not looked at as an MC. That's why you can't be on any of the lists. The same reason why people question many other people when it comes to these lists. If
Right,
there's
but
a
they're on
list,
it. But that's kind of what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying I think he should be.
but
I
anybody on those lists are MCs of some sort, whether we love them or hate them. The people on those lists, the same 10 or 12 people that get mentioned all the time, it's
I'm
not
not,
because of longevity. It's
but
because
I'm
of impact, lyrical skills.
but I'm not just talking about rapper lists. I'm just talking about musicians, artists, Billboard artists. When we talk about different
Oh,
people
okay.
in history, Bow Wow's name doesn't come up. It's like
Okay.
everybody
I understand
forgot
what
he
you're saying.
had a long career, and there are plenty of people who are around his era who are not really making music now that get considered for those things. I'm not saying I agree or disagree, but what I'm saying is it's a fact. He is not a part of it. And the fact that he's not a part of it, I understand as an artist who feels like he had this robust career with
But did he?
music.
That's my question. Did he have a robust career
I think
in
he was
music?
I think he was a child, and so I
Did
don't
he
think
have
we
a
look at
robust
his
career?
music. I don't think we look at his music the same. I think we look at his music as, oh, that was the kid rapper who like everybody loved. I don't think we look at him as. I don't think we take him seriously, and I think that's what he's trying to say, and that's my point. I don't think we take him seriously. I don't think he feels that he's being taken seriously, and the problem is, in my opinion, the reason why we don't take him seriously is because Bow Wow did not transition well out of being a child rapper into being an adult rapper.
Because
I
no
think
one was writing for him anymore.
Jermaine Dupri was trying to work with him though, but
I
he
know.
wanted to do he because I remember when he was doing grown up hip hop, and they would, and I don't know how much, of course some of it's a reality show, so I'm sure some of it was staged, but there were a lot of these encounters between him, the Brat, and Jermaine Dupri, who he was very close to, where it seemed like Bow Wow kind of wanted to do his own thing when it came to the music, and they were trying to like get him back in the studio, get him back to work. And he was just kind of like, no, because y'all don't want to make the music I want to make. I mean, maybe then he needed to go and find people who would make the music he wanted to make. But I think that his music career kind of just became stagnant. It kind of just, you know, it wasn't a good transition. So how are we now supposed to consider? We can't consider just the child rapper. We have to now consider what happened after that. And there's not much that happened after that.
Okay. Bow Wow has albums. So do you want to count the Omarion joint project? I don't think we should. So we're not also not counting the Soldier Boy joint project. Correct? Okay. So Bow Wow had music out from 2000 to 2009.
Keep
It's
going. I'm listening.
2020. It's 2024. And none of us knew the project from '09. So before that was 2006. It's only 6 years. How, like, I don't understand what we're supposed to do here. Like, and the music from 2000, it's two songs. Oh no, there's an album. It's looked that weird. Okay, yeah. So the first album was 2000. And then after that, 2006 is the last album we know. Is that an illustrious career? Question mark.
I'm not saying it was.
But
I'm
you
just
just
saying.
said it's a fact that he had a big career. Like,
Did he not have a big career?
but
I guess I'm not understand. I guess I'm confused about what we're debating here.
let's let me just say this. Oh, go ahead.
I'm not saying that I think he just deserves to be on a top 25 rappers of all time list. What I'm saying is, thinking about it now, every time there is some sort of list not a rapper list, not a hip hop list, but just any list in general, people don't really bring up any of his songs. They don't bring him up. I think that's a fact. I don't I don't think that's I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. So, but so to his point, sure, that is true. But what I'm also trying to say is after a certain point, he didn't do anything or he
Right.
did very little.
Right.
So I'm arguing against him and I'm saying, well, Bow Wow, what do you expect? What do
Okay.
you want? What do you want from us? Because now you're putting out a freestyle where you're letting us know how long your career was and everything that you did. You're giving us your resume, but to your point, what have you done lately or in the last, I don't know, decade?
Well, that's my thing is I don't know how. Two things. One, yes, Bow Wow has lots of hit records. Absolutely. But they weren't written by Bow Wow, including Out of My System, which I'm looking at right now. And it says written by Jaron Austin, which is Jonta Austin, Jermaine Dupri, and Rick James. That's the last hit we know.
Right. I
So
agree.
my
But
thing is, you got this thing talking about not you, but Bow Wow got this song talking about I'm the man, I've done all this shit. But niggas was writing for you the whole time. And you ain't dropped nothing since 88, nigga.
but
It's
that's
an
why I keep saying
exaggeration, obviously.
but that's why I keep saying I think his ego gets in his way. That was my whole point here. I
Well,
think
it
his
sounds like he
ego
was arguing for him.
No, what I'm saying is I understand. I get it. Like I think that I could understand where he's coming from, but I could also offer up why this is the way it is. I understand you feel like you haven't been considered. Yes, that is true. You have not been considered. But
I
why
feel
is
like
it that
those are legit reasons why, yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. Why is it that
Mhm.
you're not being considered? I get it. I get the frustration. I get that you feel like I did all this stuff and y'all don't give a damn. And I think he's right. I don't really think anybody cares today. But ask yourself why. You're not, and that's why I started when we started talking about the freestyle. Put out a project, even if it's an EP. Give
I
us
feel like
something.
fuck a project, put out a good single.
Even that. But
A good single will give him time and an alley oop to go, okay, I heard that, now I want to hear more.
But if he is going to get caught up, and it's gonna have to be really good because if he is going to get caught up in I don't want to be the person that y'all knew me as before, well then you got to give us something that's really gonna wow us,
No
and
pun
that's
intended.
challenging to do.
No pun
So
intended.
like I don't know I don't
Yeah, I don't think this was a good comeback record.
know.
Um and I
The
honestly
niggas
I don't
back for
need
the
Bow
last
Wow.
10 years.
I was gonna say I don't need Bow Wow to come back. Like, especially without Jermaine Dupri, Brian Michael Cox, and Jonta Austin. Go get with them. And the Brat, because she wrote one of his hit singles, by the way. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. This was Weeknights. We will see you tomorrow.